Yes, yes, yes. Good evening, y'all. We are tonight's entertainment views from the 22, running a little bit late, but we are here. Views from the 22, live on the scene, Super Bowl show number 2. Another quick show for y'all tonight, about 30 to 45 minutes. Get you caught up on some of the news about the Super Bowl. Matter of fact, let me grab this iPad here so I can pull out my injury report. Vic Jr. is here. Germ So True is here. Fellas, how we feeling? Everybody feeling good? Everybody feeling all right? Everybody feeling copacetic?
Just excited, man. It's middle of the week already. It's this thing is catching up on us quick. You have a 2 week break, but it's like it flew by. So we got today's show. We got some film studies to shows to do. So we're just getting ready, man. Just excited. Also,
Hey, I hear you on that one. Germ, how you feeling tonight?
I'm hanging in there, man. Mess around. Soon you won't be around. That's the phrase of the day. Let's go, man. Let's get this thing going.
All right, so listen, today is Wednesday, meaning we got the first official Super Bowl injury report of the week. Let's just kick it off right there with that. It's what's on everybody's mind. It's the reason we are all here. It's the reason we are doing so many shows. So let's kick it off with this first Super Bowl injury report of the week. Super Bowl 55, of course, Chiefs versus Buccaneers. We know the details, we know the narratives, we know the storylines, we know everything we need to know about this game already. But of course, tomorrow night's live show will have more details on that. But what's on everybody's mind? Who's going to play? Who's not going to play? Who's going to be ready? Who's not going to be ready? Let's go to the Chiefs, the defending back-to-back champs first. Obviously, unfortunately, Eric Fisher and Willie Gay Jr. are both out. They suffered season-ending injuries very recently. Le'Veon Bell and Sammy Watkins, were limited participants. They are. It's trending upwards, but it's still we have to monitor it. Barring any setbacks, they should be good. But no doubt, it's still something that we got to monitor every day. But the first injury report of the week, good news on that front. Clyde Edwards-Helaire, he's good to go. Mike Remmers, he was a full participant despite being listed with a groin injury. And Patrick Mahomes, fellas, was listed as a full participant despite a toe injury. The head, shoulders, and knees was silent, especially the head part. Clearly, they want to put toe. Okay, whatever. So, fellas, quick thoughts and reactions on the Chiefs injury report. Anything significant? Any takeaways from it at all?
No,
yeah, I
not
mean, of
really.
course. Go ahead,
So
John.
no,
Go ahead.
not really. It's not really much to take away from it. We kind of know who's healthy, who needs to be playing in this game, who's the big injury factors and things of that nature. Offensive line is what it is right now, as we know. That's going to be a key part of the game because we know who's in and out. But that's pretty much all I have to say about it. Go ahead, Vic.
No, I mean, just the left tackle, of course, Eric Fisher. It's gonna remains to be seen if that's gonna be a significant loss as to whoever is gonna back him up and stuff like that. I know some of the Chiefs fans are not a big fan of Eric Fisher and his inconsistencies, but that the left tackle is still a big piece. So we'll see how they be able to match up in that situation there.
Absolutely. Speaking of the Bucks and that defense, Levante David, limited. Jordan Whitehead, limited. Antoine Whitfield, limited. Now, with the Levante thing, more of a precautionary measurement, nothing to worry about. Jordan Whitehead and Antoine Whitfield, similar to the Sammy Watkins and Le'Veon Bell situation, same thing here. It's trending upwards, but we still got to monitor it every day. Barring any setbacks, they should be good to go. The person to really monitor, matter of fact, two people to really monitor from the Bucks. No, it's not Chris Godwin and Mike Evans, who feel like they're probably at 100% for the first time all year. So shout
Mm.
out to them. The two players to monitor for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are Jason Pierre-Paul and Antonio Brown. Now, Jason Pierre-Paul, completely did not practice today with a knee injury. According to what I read, doubtful seems to be the early status on Jason Pierre-Paul. Obviously, they don't have to give him a game designation up until Friday afternoon, but for now, they just put him out as a did not participate in practice. something to most definitely monitor. And on the Antonio Brown front, he was limited. It's trending upwards, but same thing with him, barring any setbacks. And from what I'm reading, it seems that the Antonio Brown situation, especially and Jason Pierre-Paul without doubt, but the Antonio Brown situation is a little more cautious approach than the Antoine Whitfield and Jordan Whitehead. So a little good news, bad news, fellas. Quick reaction from the Buccaneers early injury report for the Super Bowl week.
Hey, Jerm.
Oh, I mean, as long as certain people, certain people got to play. Certain people, it doesn't really make a difference. As long as the main guys are playing, that's all we here for anyway. Let's just make sure everybody's healthy. Let's just get this game played, and let's hoist this Lombardi.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I didn't even know the Jason Pierre-Paul injury because he lines up on the right side of the defense for most of his snaps. So that's going to be against the left tackle there. So that's going to be interesting. But some news I saw earlier, Mo, is that everybody so far on both teams have passed their most recent COVID test. So at least we got that going on because we don't want no sudden news leading up to that game.
100% a great point, Vic. And obviously something that's very pivotal, something that's very significant, considering what we're dealing with in today's present time, something that we most certainly have to talk about and be aware of. Two players did go, Daniel Kingory, the center, and Demarcus Robinson, the wide receiver, both of the Chiefs, both went on COVID-19 reserve list because of a close contact incident. So they're basically they're in quarantine, but just like every other player, it's nothing major. They just have to be in quarantine. But just like every other player, they have to pass every test leading up to game day. So not necessarily something significant, but very similar to this toe injury this knee injury for Antonio and all that. Just something to monitor, something to keep an eye on because it is significant. On the good front as well, though, Vic, the NFL has had a 0.08 COVID rate this year. I think that's pretty good. I mean, you had to expect it was going to happen. Luckily, from what we've heard, from everything we've seen and read or haven't seen or haven't read, however way you want to look at it, doesn't seem like anyone directly, obviously you could never say, but obviously the players and anyone involved in these organizations, for the most part, pretty healthy with a couple of, regardless, go ahead.
No, the amount of people that are in these buildings, it's incredible. So for them to be as safe as possible from the virus, to have that low of a rate is pretty impressive. Goes to show you some good structure in that situation, at least when it comes to the NFL, who's inconsistent in some of their things.
Yeah, Jeremy, any thoughts?
Not really much to say right there, man. It's just some of that stuff is self-explanatory, man.
It is, but at least with a conversation that we're going to have later on amongst the rest of the scene members about just how essential sports is to the broader society, the greater community, and the COVID thing is definitely something that we are going to touch on. Now, let's move on to some more current news, and then we will move back to some of the things regarding the Super Bowl. Obviously, a lot to cover there on that end. Shout out to everybody in the comments. Jay Ham, the Godfather, the leadoff hitter of the evening, April with the What It Do, Vic Jr. in there, German there, both being two places at once. Big Shot in there, Trav in there, Kenneth is in there. Talk again with the Eric Fisher slander by Kenneth Trotter. Shout out to Jaquan, appreciating the Batman hat. D King just checked in. Kenneth certainly does not swing and miss ever when it comes to Eric Fisher.
He's very critical of he's already asking for what are the Chiefs gonna do in the offensive line this offseason. And I'm like, bro, there's a Super Bowl happening. Let's get through the game, brother. But they gotta protect the franchise. They have to protect the franchise player. I mean, probably the face of the NFL right now. So it's gonna be interesting because this defense is different. This is a different defense than everybody else they faced this season. So it's going to be interesting.
I mean, look, regardless of what, right? that left tackle position, there is still value to it at the end of the day. Germ,
Mhm.
on the news front, we are hearing that Carson Wentz, sorry, is apparently on the trade block. Before you go, just a quick recap. It all started with Doug Peterson building a statue for Nick Foles. Yes, I said it. Then it turned into the Jalen Hurts 52nd or 53rd overall pick. Not to mention all these little things that kept leaking in and out of that Eagles locker room ever since they hoisted that Lombardi trophy, the one hit wonder that was the 2017 regular season. Eventually, Doug Peterson, head coach, chose Hurts over Carson Wentz. Perhaps he was one of those guys that wanted to go with Nick Foles over Carson Wentz. The more I sort of let this situation marinate and cook. But Germ, the Eagles said, Doug, you are not allowed to choose player X over Carson Wentz. Let him go. But now it seems that Carson Wentz and Howie might also not be on the same page. What are you hearing?
Well, what it is now Carson is basically saying like he doesn't have a lot of faith in the organization, pretty much from the most part. You're hearing that Jason Kelsey is potentially going to be gone. That's a long time staple of the offensive line. He's the center. He's the main communicator. He will be probably leaving this offseason. You're going to have a lot of moving around and moving bodies on this offense. It's just the offense with a lot of younger guys being a part of it. Just overall, man, there's just a lot of stuff going on with this franchise right now. So they're not in a place right now where they can pick a head coach over a quarterback. Unfortunately. So what I would do if I was the Eagles in this situation is I would go ahead and I would, in so many words, for lack of better terms, what I would do is I would try to make amends with him by trading Jalen. Now, I know that may sound kind of harsh, but when Doug drafted Jalen, you don't think that maybe could have fractured the younger quarterback psyche a little bit? You don't think those type of things make you think, you know what I'm saying, a little bit in those type of things?
Sure.
But with the way things look with the contract that Wentz just signed, you'll be able to flip Jalen because of the way he's played. You'll probably be able to flip Jalen for a first-round pick from one of the contending teams. I mean, there's some teams here that may be able to buy some time with that window. And I'm going to give y'all one team, and there's some people in the comments who probably going to be mad at me, but Baltimore is one of those teams that may as well go ahead and make that phone call if that's the case. But with that being said, we're just gonna call a spade, right? We're just gonna call a spade, right? All right, I'm just making sure. So I hold no punches. This is German rare form tonight. I'm just gonna tell y'all now, it's nothing there in Philly right now for anybody. The defensive line, they need to get Fletch up out of there. It ain't nothing there for him no more either. The linebacking core is atrocious. The secondary is terrible. It just is what it is.
So bad.
Philly, West Philadelphia, born and raised on the playgrounds is where I spend most of my days. I don't see anything else happening. If you trade Carson, it's a 2 draft pick minimum, and those draft picks have to be in the first round.
Yeah.
Let me make sure I say that. Tanya, we don't care. At least he'll be protected.
Ain't going to no damn Baltimore.
Listen. Speaking
Tanya,
of that,
let me just finish. Let me say one thing, and Vic, I'm gonna look past it. Tanya, we don't care. They have one of the 3-4 best offensive lines of football. He will be protected, and he will have a chance to win a Super Bowl with that organization more than the other quarterback. And that's all I'm gonna say.
Tanya, what he's actually saying is that Jalen is an upgrade to Lamar Jackson.
That's what I was gonna ask, Jeremy. Do you like who is the better passer between those two?
Jalen. Duh.
Oh.
Jalen. Duh.
Whoa.
Lamar Jackson has played 3 seasons now in the NFL. He has yet to eclipse 300 yards in a regular season. Not only has he yet to eclipse 300 yards, we're talking about a quarterback who can't make the simple throws. At least I've seen Jalen make simple throws. At least Jalen has been a model of consistency at the thing he does well with the football. He handles the baby just as good as Lamar does. Yes, he does. And yeah, We got film that'll show this. And at least he pushes the ball down the field. The ball play of the secondary players, the secondary players in general, has been atrocious in general across the league, across the land. But for that, the lack of better terms, fellas, it's across the land. It's been atrocious, and I'm sick of it. But at the end of the day, the ball skills is not what we're talking about here. We're talking about a quarterback that is better than the other guy who just was never good at playing quarterback. It just is what it is. I don't need to say nothing else. He could go to this franchise. He has an opportunity that he probably could win a Super Bowl with this team. That's my hot take for the year.
Damn.
That's my hot take, period. Jalen Hurts over Lamar Jackson every day of the week, 7 days a week, 365 days, 367 on a leap year, and that's just what it takes.
Hey,
gang.
that's a trusted source, just so y'all know.
Look at Big Shot's comment.
Big Shot says it's hard to never throw for 300 in the NFL. Absolutely true. Tanya,
The only one he did
they
was in
got
that
their
playoff
quarterback.
game. The only one he did was in that playoff game, and that's when they threw the ball 60 sometimes.
against Tennessee,
Yeah, 60. It took you 60 throws to throw for 300 yards, and you're a good quarterback.
Logistically speaking, that was one of the worst. Yes, I said most worst
That's a gift.
quarterback films I have ever seen in my entire life. That was an atrocity. That was an embarrassment. Enough of that. Let's get back to the topic at hand because
Big nines. Man, I'm about to go in the battle rap bag now. Don't make Vic hold me back.
Yeah. Anyways, all right.
I will go in the bag on the.
Some other quick piece of news before we pass it to Vic Jr. Andrew Luck, for whatever reason, this thing has become a thing. Folks, I'm gonna say this again. Andrew Luck retired and is never coming back. When he retired, we said it on the live. There is a bigger chance Gronk comes back. Luck is not coming back. That's what we've seen. That's what we'll continue to see. Andrew Luck, for those of you who don't know this, apparently Andrew Luck is a high-profile architect engineer now. Apparently,
that's what he studied.
Doing stuff internationally. Hey, and we know, if anything, we know he retired with $25 million straight cash, homie. Okay, you give me $25 million to disappear. Hey, call me the Cape Crusader. Okay, you never see me again in public. But there was this text apparently leaked that this dude whose wife is a friend of Andrew Luck's wife's best friend, that you connect that love and hip hop triangle.
Oh Lord.
He put out this tweet of a screenshot of Andrew Luck's wife saying, "Guess who walked today?" Something. Then she named the baby son. And whatever. Basically the conversation said that Andrew is meeting with Jim Irsay this Thursday, and yada yada yada. And the friend is like, "Oh, we told him he'd miss football," and the wife says, "We know how much he misses it more than anything. This is the first step." According to credible sources, that is a hoax. That is some dude looking for attention. The tweet has since been deleted. If I can find the actual screenshot, I will post it to the Views from the 22 Facebook group and to the Twitter and Instagram and all that so you guys can see it. Ridiculous text, but clearly not true. And again, just to reiterate, Andrew Luck is not walking through that door. Now, Vic, Houston has a problem.
Oh yeah.
Houston's.
Ooh.
Go ahead, you got it. Take it away. We know why. We know why we're going to you.
Yeah, no, we'll.
The rumor is that Deshaun Watson wants to. Well, that's not a rumor. Deshaun definitely doesn't want to be there. Houston is saying all the right things. They will not trade him. Yada yada yada. They want the player. Blah 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 blah. Rumors circulating now that perhaps there's some destination, including the Vegas. What you got?
Yeah, so basically on some of the stuff I was able to research today, Mo. About 6 hours, around the afternoon, Sports Illustrated reported that Raiders were not considering trading Derek Carr. Okay, I'll keep saying David.
Okay.
But then 2 to 4 hours later,
Mhm.
2 more articles from Sports Illustrated came out saying that they are looking to possibly trade Derek Carr. And they started throwing out some rumors there as Washington football team being a possible destination.
Really?
Yes, they would. They threw out the fact that they would ask for 2 first-round picks for Carr, 2 first-round picks for Carr, and then Vegas would then use those 2 first-round picks plus their first-round picks to send it to Houston and an offer for Deshaun Watson. Okay, so the article goes on to say that could this be just the writer writing some things just to get stuff out there, or does he have a source in the NFL that is
Yawn.
throwing these things out there? And are the Raiders possibly throwing out these rumors just to put a price tag for Derek Carr? That leads us then to Watson, who, yes, he has officially, okay, quote unquote, officially asked for a trade. And he said, apparently he said he was go as far as holding out if he's not traded. Okay, so this is basically he's trying to change the landscape of how much the players or the quarterbacks can control here in the NFL. The Texans, especially the GM Nick Cassero, said, "We are not interested in trading." He said 0-0 chance. Go ahead, Jerm.
So in the comments, I'm sorry, y'all. Y'all like these slaw ass quarterbacks, don't y'all? Like Derek Carr. Y'all like them?
Jerm, we're gonna get hold on.
Okay, go ahead. I'm just asking because somebody
I
that was
was
don't do that to David or Derek, whatever his name is. Look, he that much better than his brother. I mean, that much better, and that's just
hold on.
that much better. And you know the only reason why we don't know that because he spent half his career on his back, so we don't know. We don't believe you. We need more people. Let's go. Y'all like these slow ass quarterbacks. Go ahead, Vic. Sorry, bro.
So Cassero is saying 0 chance, right? But could that be them bluffing to get a higher price tag for Watson?
Sure.
So we saw what happened with the Stafford trade. We thought that was overpriced. Shout out to Big Shot because he put out some funny stuff saying what so what is Deshaun's price now? If it's 2 first-round picks for Stafford plus a quarterback, what are we talking about for Watson? And so we're going to make it clear because Jerm already started it. Watson is significantly better than Derek, one of the D's cars.
All of them.
Listen. He better than all of them. It don't matter. I don't give Sam Blim Blam peanut butter jelly. He ready to jam.
Yeah.
Shout out to April, our resident Raiders fan. If they offering Derek Carr, Darren Waller, and 2 first-round picks for Deshaun Watson, take it. Because that kid will change that franchise. Yes, you cannot find another Darren Waller specifically, but you can find another quality tight end that he can throw the ball to. All right? Whatever you have to pay. Now, obviously, too much is too much. Maybe if you get to 5 or 6 first-round picks, that's a lot. But whatever you got to pay for Deshaun Watson, pay for Deshaun Watson. I promise you, you will not regret it.
And y'all don't even got no first-round picks. You ain't got no first round, no second round. I don't even know if y'all got third-round picks in Houston.
So what is the
problem? So, hey, y'all need to make that.
You
need to do that today.
Yeah.
Today.
They're gonna have to.
Today. Y'all like the dance move?
Man,
today. What day? Hey, Vic, what day we need to do it? Today. Let's go. To the Batmobile.
Whatever you got to pay. Go ahead, Mo. Whatever. Get it up. Because, hey, I could talk about Deshaun all day long. That's my guy. That's one of my guys, bro.
If you're Vegas, all I will say is get it done without trading Waller.
Yes.
Trade anybody else. That includes, I'm going to say it, big chest showing. That includes over the speed limit rugs. If he's got to be included to get
put him in.
That man, you ship that man express, okay? You bring in Deshaun expedited immediately.
And Baltimore got y'all a 3rd round pick because y'all took their slow ass coach. Y'all took their slow ass coach.
So wait, hold on, Jerm, but you're talking about
You never
Houston.
got a first, a second, or a third.
You're talking about Houston.
Yes.
Okay, so yeah, you're
Are
not
you
the Raiders.
serious?
The Raiders have all their picks, right?
I know.
As far
Yes,
as
the
we know.
Raiders is not what I'm
Yeah.
talking about. I'm talking about if you got a chance, you need to make this happen.
Yo.
What are y'all doing?
So
What are y'all doing?
real quick, Vic, you want to say something before I go?
No, go ahead. We read the comments.
So real quick, shout out to Jay who brought this up. My next subject. First of all, Ty Love thinks it's going to be FC Washington. Tanya says Derek definitely better than David. Big shot, new hashtag trend. Slot QBs matter. Jaquan says Carr is not a bad QB. FC Washington seems to be a popular thing amongst the crowd. And yeah, Tanya says she's sick of Big Shot. April said something and then retracted it. Shouldn't have been the
What
first
she
time you
said
retracted
was
something, April.
she's
Let's just
trying
be
to say
clear on
he's
that.
going to be on his back. See, so April, now I seen what you said, so I can say out loud. You said that he was going to be on his back because of no defense. Deshaun Watson was putting up 30 points with nothing. So imagine what happens if we get him something. The defense is going to be terrible. Guess why? Because y'all play cover 2 and y'all play zone defenses when y'all should be playing man. That's why y'all terrible. Because y'all don't know what to do in situations. And we just going to call it what it is.
Let's keep it on the offensive side. They're going to block better for him. We know that. A really good offensive line there. They got weapons there. They will still get better. They will still get better with other picks, with other free agent moves. Yeah. So listen, the Texans have constantly had issues blocking. They cannot keep this kid off his back. Okay. And that's where him being able to get out of the pocket and still make some quality throws. All right. So I mean, come on. That's too easy for me. That's a top 3 quarterback in this league right now.
Real quick, Brett Favre needs to stay retired and do Wrangler commercials or whatever he does. I don't even know how people wear Wrangler jeans. Those are one of the most uncomfortable pair of jeans I've ever tried in my entire life. But we'll leave that for a different conversation. He says, you get paid, quote for quote, this is a quote, you get paid a ton of money to do a certain job and just do it and let the chips fall where they may. I think we make too much money to voice an opinion, and this is where he retracts a little bit, like April says. But I'm not saying he's wrong. Again, I think it's a different day and time, and it'll be interesting to see how the organization handles it. That's a blah blah blah.
Okay, so
go ahead, Jerm. Go ahead. I know you want to say something. Go ahead,
Jerm. He said you get paid a ton of money.
You tell me you get paid a ton of money. No, you said you get paid a ton of money. And you don't want to voice your opinion, but you just voiced a damn opinion.
He shouldn't be.
Amazing.
He shouldn't be talking. That's it. In other words, he's saying you do what you're supposed to be doing, right? We don't want to get color into this thing. I hate when we have to get to that. But what is he trying to say here? Just be a slave. Be a slave to this inept franchise?
Again, here's the other part of this conversation that needs to be had. There's people who know what they are, and there's people who don't. The people who don't are more dangerous than people who do. And I'll let y'all fill in whatever dots you want to connect there on Mr. Brett Favre. I live in Mississippi and chew tobacco for a living. But you leave that for a different... We know what that means. Okay, Mr. Dukes of hazardly interceptions at the wrong time. That's what you are. That's what you the Duke of, Brett Favre. Stay retired and don't voice an opinion on nothing that isn't related to the Green Bay Packers or Wrangler jeans.
Anybody who tells me that they at one point in their career was getting paid millions of dollars to play the sport and didn't know what a nickel, a dime, a quarter was when it referred to that, and I don't have anything to say to you. Vic, I'm not giving no slack.
Who was his student?
When we said nickel, we said nickel, dime, and quarter. Hold on. Wait, I got you.
Who was his student?
Then now his student can't do line protection. Brett can barely read.
Cut. We lost control of the show. Yo, All right.
Man putting on a mask.
I'm about to put on. I can't,
Oh
I can't do it.
Lord.
I
Hey,
can't.
pick your thoughts, sir.
Well, bro, like I said, you can't. No, Brett, you're the last person to tell this kid what to do with his career and what
I
to do with his life.
swear.
Are you out your stupid mind, bro? Again, I don't want to make this a color thing, bro, but that's like saying you are remain a slave to an NFL franchise to a franchise that's already been clearly considered what racist for McNair's comments. Come on, man. No. Anyway, Deshaun, whatever you can to get Deshaun Watson. The only team that should not get Deshaun Watson is the Houston Texans.
Yeah.
Even if it's the Buccaneers, just to have him behind Brady for 1 year, which sounds stupid, but that's how good that Deshaun Watson is. That's how good Deshaun Watson is, and we could do a film study on it after the Super Bowl.
Definitely. We're definitely gonna have to. Germ doing sign language because he's out of words. The dictionary is closed for the evening because he's tired of it.
I hate these people, man. I really do, man. I hate these folks so much. I swear. I can't stand. Why? Where are we? Where are we as a?
Oh man.
Who hurt you?
I heard that from your chest, brother.
Who hurt you?
Man, look. I don't understand this at all.
Oh,
But whatever, let's get back to the Super Bowl, fellas. Let's go back to where it goes
Ugh.
back to. Let's do with some rapid fire
Ugh.
questions. Let's close this out. Again, if you are in the yeah, I get it. Shout out to everybody in the comments. Because everybody understands the energy that Brett Favre is on, and that's okay. That's why you threw in
we don't have to
first time. 'Cause
Right.
That's what you deserve. Anyways. Let's get back to the Super Bowl. Let's do some questions, rapid fire, close it out, keep it light, keep it moving, keep it smooth. If you got any questions in the comments, drop them, whether they're opinions, narratives, whatever. We are opening this up and we are going. Let us start with where we got to start. The two 87s, the two tight ends, the two guys who are probably the most impactful tight ends in modern football history. No offense to Antonio Gates and Jason Witten. Well, that's actually Tony Gonzalez area, and he's better than both of them. Leave that for them. No offense to George Kittle, I guess. Regardless, whatever, right? Fellas, let's talk about it. Now, obviously, this version of Gronk is not going to be 2017, 2014, 2013, and certainly his first 2 years in the league, including when he had 17 touchdowns in 2011. Just absolutely phenomenal player throughout his entire career. Travis, a little different in certain things, but they are both nightmare matchups. Vic, I see you salivating. Let's just go around the horn quick and fast. Your thoughts on these two players?
Yeah, no, real quick. I mean, Gronk is like the Shaq of football, man.
Yes.
He uses his size. That's what he did. He was about his size. He can box you out. He can use his length. That's how basically, like, he was barely ever open. But he was a guy that can use his length. Brady, again, just the perfectionist that he is when it comes to placement, knew how to use Gronk. And then you got Kelce, who has size, but is a great route runner. I mean, that dude is tremendous with some of the things that he's able to do, some of the nuances that he's able to do. If we get a chance, we'll show some of that in tomorrow's film study on his route running abilities. But, Kelce to me is like a mix of a half a Gronk and a half a Witten because he can use his size and his route running, to get open and stuff like that. He does have a lot of weapons around him that helps out. But I mean, he is definitely a top 3 tight end in this league. So I mean, I expect both of these guys to do something big in this game. The Chiefs are going to need Kelce to be at his best to win this game, but they both should be able to get something done.
Absolutely. Germ, we know about these two guys. We know about the problems they present opposing defenses. Just give me your thoughts on similar differences, whatever, how you evaluate these two players.
Man, look, it's real simple. We got the dancing bear versus the bear who dances. The bear who dances is Gronk. The dancing bear is Travis Kelce. Freak of nature, great athlete, That's what you get. Gronk, all his dancing is done now with girls. That's all that needs to be said. With that being said, though, the big key here for Gronk is not the same player, and it's okay.
Yeah.
But what makes Gronk still a very, very good player is the fact that he has the quarterback that he has. You're going to see throws where Brady puts the ball in positions where he knows and he trusts Gronk to make plays. And that right there is the ultimate weapon that makes a player extremely gifted, extremely talented, and all those other things. If the quarterback has any faith in you, any trust in you, that ultimately makes you a better player. And that's what we have seen with Gronkowski through his entire career, injuries and all, everything, the ups and downs. We have seen 12 believe in 87. And that's right there. 87 believes that 12 will never put him anywhere that he shouldn't be. And that right there, ladies and gentlemen, is why that combination is one of the most lethal in history. As much as we like Mahomes and Kelsey, they may never have the synergy that these two guys have. And we need to make sure we account for that on Sunday. Travis Kelsey is a route running nightmare. A lot of people would have loved to have Travis Kelsey. But Gronk in his prime, before the injuries, before the back, the 87 was different, man. That's a different 87. And y'all got to understand, this 87 still is a dominant run blocker. Still very dominant at the point of attack.
Yes.
And he's an A run blocker to go along with the fact he's still a B player in the receiving game. He just doesn't have the quickness. And then we got an A player who's then a C player. So it balances it out more than you think. So relax on the Travis Kelsey's number one. He's good. But 87 over there in New England could very well have a big game.
Right.
And if he outplays him, don't be upset. Don't be upset.
Absolutely. So, I mean, I think when you look at Gronk, you talked about it, Germ, his value to this day is still as high as any other tight end in the league. Yes, Travis Kelsey is absolutely phenomenal in the passing game. He does contribute and provide value in the run game, but not nearly on the level of Gronk, particularly in the overall blocking game. But matchup-wise, they are both nightmares. Matchup-wise, you do have to prepare for them. And matchup-wise, you really got to build a defensive game plan where they are in your top 2 to 3 keys. And I'm curious to see how exactly Travis Kelsey is going to perform and whether or not there's a bracket coverage situation, how exactly Tampa is going to approach attacking him. But we'll get to all that in a lab session tomorrow night, and certainly we got Saturday and Sunday to talk about it. Again, rapid fire here, fellas. Quick, who has more catches, Gronk or Kelsey? Germ?
It's too early in the week, Mo.
I hear you, Vic. Come on, Vic. Give me an answer.
I go Kelsey.
I'm gonna go Kelsey too. Who makes a bigger impact or more memorable play, Gronk or Kelsey?
Ooh, I go Gronk. Yeah.
Too early in the week, man. I can't.
I knew you was gonna say that.
I can't do this. We need more people.
Quick thoughts, fellas. Chiefs back in the Super Bowl, going for back-to-back. The last team to accomplish back-to-back Super Bowls were the 2003, 2004 New England Patriots, who beat the Panthers, and then the Eagles rather in the following Super Bowl.
The Eagles. That's that's what they are. Eagles.
Yeah.
I don't know what the hell that is.
I swear to God, where they acting. Eek. That's what.
Yeah. EQ.
Yeah.
EQ.
Shout out to the scene. We just EQing it right now. Don't worry about it. We're far from Harvard students. As far as the Chiefs, the Patriots were the last team to succeed in back-to-back seasons. The Seahawks, 2013, went back in 2014. Tom Brady stopped them. The 2017, 2018 Patriots, Tom Brady tried. Nick Foles happened. Whatever. We'll move on. Now here we are. Patrick Mahomes going for it back-to-back. Shout out to Drizzy Drake Rogers. Fellas, how big would it be for Mahomes if he pulls off a back-to-back special?
This big. Next question.
Big?
It's a little bit.
I'm gonna go significant. I'm not, I ain't gonna say it's the whole pie, but it's like you go to a party, they get like, hey, this is a Patrick Mahomes back-to-back pie. I could do with this,
I mean,
coffee, I'm good.
I mean, y'all, hey, we all like Disney movies, right? Y'all remember the Ants movie? He's got high hopes. He's got high hopes. He's got high in the sky and But anyway, that's what Pat Mahomes has.
Ironically, like how often do we talk about Brady went back to back? Not often. We mention it every now and then. We mention it in passing.
All I want to say is I don't want to be mean to the kid because I love Pat, but I'm just saying it's not going to be as significant for me for two reasons. Because he's supposed to be there.
Right.
Agreed. I don't want to be that guy, but
he's
agreed. Supposed to be there.
Agreed.
We're talking about a guy who got there in one season with a whole new team.
Right.
After last year's debacle of him being let go, him leaving early in the playoffs because he didn't have the weapons.
Agreed.
So, I mean, just
I was gonna say, Mo, let's get back to that question on Sunday.
Sure. We just want to
when we do the show because it is for both. Who is it gonna be bigger for?
Right. Yes.
To win this game.
So. Yes.
So we didn't let that one marinate.
Very good, Kenneth. It means nothing to Mahomes is playing with house money. He has nothing to lose. If he loses, he has opportunities to be back into it. We don't know how many more years Tom has to play. More pressure is not on either quarterback necessarily. More pressure is actually on the head coaches. Whoops. It's more on Andy Reid. It's more pressure on Andy Reid, Big Mr. Big Kool-Aid, than it is on Pat Mahomes. Because the proof of concept is you got a quarterback that shreds up the regular season. But the thing is, Andy, this is the time right here. Last year's performance doesn't get it done this year. Next, Bruce Arians. Hey, man, we got to call it what it is. You got here simply because you got the right players who make the right plays at the right time. We're going to call it what it is. Coaches lose them, players win them. We say it all the time. Which coach loses it this week? That's going to be the key.
Absolutely.
It ain't going to be about nothing else. Rex's and Joe's are X's and O's all day.
Yeah.
And that's what this is about. Which coach puts their team in the best position to win? Y'all can talk all of this stuff about Brady and Mahomes and all that. Listen, all that's cool. But I'm telling y'all right now, the game plan, who comes out strong, who finishes stronger, is the difference in the game. Because both of these teams do the same thing. The Browns and the Chiefs did it. So do the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Chiefs. When they play early in the season, we had a scoring drought. When that scoring drought happened, guess what happened? Tampa Bay caught up. This time, does Tampa Bay start off down 20-7? The answer is going to be no. So now we're going to see if 27 points is enough to get it done. This Bucs team can score 40 just like the Chiefs. That in itself tells you Pat knows when he plays 12, he got to play his best. He knows that. This game better be a classic, and the coaches better get the hell out the way. This is about 12 and 15. You make it about 12 and 15, that's how you get the Lombardi, period. There's nothing else that I need to say tonight.
Yeah. I mean, I think it would be a shame. You socially distancing tonight, John? I think it would be a shame if tonight's game. Yeah. You see that? This is hilarious, yo. It's got to be about the quarterbacks, but Vic, anything you wanted to add to what Jern Wood just said before we move on?
Yeah, real quick, I was reading. I was just gonna say something else. Tom Brady apparently kicked his family out of the house for 12 days.
So
leading up to this. So you heard about that big old house?
Yes, apparently for the last by Sunday, Brady is gonna have 12 days of pure silence. No kids, no wife, nobody in the house except for him and Alex Guerrero and whoever cooks for them. Because he was talking about how he still gets these nice meals. Somebody cooking for him. But I'm sure when you Tom Brady, you probably have a 5-star chef living in your basement somewhere. The man, first of all, yes, we're gonna talk about the GOAT a little bit. You know that was gonna happen.
By the way, he's living in Derek Jeter's house. The other GOAT.
The man gifted the entire offensive line, not just the starters, the entire offensive line. He gifted them these watches that start at $7,000. He just gave it to them before the Packers before the Packers game. Speaking of that Packers game, after the Packers game, according to Lavonte David, leader, captain, linebacker, more importantly, fellow teammate and Tampa Bay Buccaneer of Tom Brady, he told Patrick Peterson on one of Patrick Peterson's, I guess it's a YouTube show. I'm honestly, I'm not even sure what it is. To be honest with you,
I didn't know.
I love Pat Pete though. I'm gonna have to check it out. He told them that apparently it was one of the wide receivers was crying after the NFC Championship game, after the win.
I heard it was Lavonte David.
No, Lavonte David said the story.
Oh, okay. Proceed. My bad.
He apparently it was one of the wide receivers. And all he heard was Brady walking up to him saying, "What the are you crying for? We not done yet." Lavonte said he wiped the 1 or 2 tears off his eye and said, "Hey, he's right."
Oh my God. Yo, what is wrong with them? It could have not been Mike. I'm gonna cover for Mike. It could have not been Mike.
Well, apparently,
Hold on. Mike was walking off the field until somebody from the Tampa Bay equipment managers told him, "Hey, the ceremony is that way, bro. You're walking the wrong way." And he said, "Oh, I'm new to this." So it could have not been Mike.
No, Mike was composed the whole time.
Yeah,
Mike was like,
right.
"Oh, let's just go to the locker room." They're like, "No, you
Yeah.
gotta." He's like, "Oh man, I'm new to this whole winning thing. I don't know what this is about. But you know what? I'm just gonna go over here with my teammates. I hope they ain't mad at me because I'm late." That's
Lavonte
right,
kind of
pretty
let it
much.
slip. It was either Godwin or McKissick. Yeah, it was either, I don't think it was Godwin. It was probably JD.
Who is McKissick?
Yeah.
The wide receiver / punt returner, kick returner.
Nah, you got his name wrong. There, Mickens.
I mean, yeah, Mickens.
When you said McKissick, I said,
JD McKissick.
I'm sorry. That's my bad.
I wish we had JD McKissick for this game.
Shout out to the people,
right.
man.
Yeah, shout out to everybody in the comments. Fellas, let's go around the horn here real quick. There are a lot of great Super Bowl moments. You can start with Doug Williams, who was down 10-0 to John Elway in the second quarter, had a bad knee and all, scored, I think it was 4 touchdowns in the second quarter to go up 28-10 into halftime, ended up being Super Bowl MVP, first black quarterback to win a Super Bowl. You could talk about Mike Jones being 1 yard short of the championship for the Tennessee Titans. Sorry, Gerard and DeAndre and Jason and and Jay, maybe, whoever listening. You could talk about Santonio Holmes, his incredible game-winning catch. You could talk about Devin Hester, the kick return. You could talk about you don't talk about what happened in 2007 with the helmet, whatever happened there. Don't talk about that. There's a lot of great Super Bowl moments. Obviously, James Harrison in that same Super Bowl. I mean, the Cowboys have had some moments, especially in those Bills Super Bowls. The Steelers certainly had some Super Bowls against those Cowboys, including the drop in the end zone that's so infamous. So, fellas, give me your favorite Super Bowl moment, and then we'll go to one that you might want to talk about. But I'll kick it off while y'all think about it still. I think it's more than obvious if you know me. No, it's not We Have 12. It's not that one. It's not the 28-3, even though that was overall one of the best football nights of my life. The single favorite play is the Malcolm Butler interception. I think it was an absolutely phenomenal play. I think it was a tremendous preparation. The chances that he actually catches that interception, probably 1 in 101, who knows? The fact that he saw it, the fact that Brandon Browner got that great jam, which was probably the most important part of the play that allowed Malcolm Butler to have a straight path to the trajectory of the football. All like so many things had to go right in less than a blink of an eye, and it did, down to the fact that he caught it in the end zone and got it out. Didn't want to risk some sort of weird, freaky safety. To me,
right, because he made the catch inside the field, bounced off the receiver, and his momentum took him into the end zone.
Right.
So like his
There was a
quick
gray
like
area.
just reaction was to go
right,
was to go forward.
because there was a gray area.
See, I can't even have fun with this because it's Black History Month. Like I can't even have fun with my favorite Super Bowl moment
Why?
because it's Black History Month. I can't do that. It was actually not even a play on the field. It was actually something that happened during the halftime show. So I'm just
Oh,
going.
Jeremy. Brad.
Jer-
What?
Best football site.
I mean, Mo, it's funny, man, because I don't know if this is a lab thing for us or what, but
Y'all
like,
stupid, man. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Vic.
nah, it's like these things happen and then you forget about them. I'm trying to think of a Cowboys memory, and I honestly can't. I just remember them celebrating. I was 8, 9, 10 years old when that happened.
Yeah.
I was gonna reference that interception. I thought that was a tremendous, unbelievable Super Bowl play. And then the 28-3 game, with that Edelman catch. And then as a lab guy, what stood out to me was them tossing the football to win that football game at the end.
Yeah, sure.
Giving it to the running back. To me, that like meant so much to not only what Brady stands for, but how the running backs got respect in that that situation. Me as a running back myself, like to give me that ball to score that winning touchdown. I thought that was a big thing. Brady could easily said, "I want to throw this football in," but nah, they tossed it, and they won that game that way. Other than that, I mean, I don't have big memories, man. It's like it happened, it leaves my mind, and
Yeah. Well,
You barely forget the moment before us. I mean,
but
right.
it was something that kind of popped up earlier, made me recall when ESPN did that Four Falls of Buffalo thing. I remember me and Jay talked about the Bills a lot during that release of that 30 for 30. It was actually probably like the first or second year I know Jay. It was a couple of years ago now. Shout out to Jay Ham. Shout out to the Godfather. One of the things we talked about was Emmitt Smith had a drive. I think he had like 7 carries for like 70 yards and a touchdown early in the second half against one of those Bills games. So there's a lot of Cowboys memories for sure. Germ, any favorite Super Bowl play of yours that you have recently?
Not really, man. I don't, one play don't really stick out to me a lot in some of these games because it just be a collection of a lot of incredible things. I'll give a shout out or two real quick though. Shout out to Julian Edelman. That catch that he made in a situation where the ball was ricocheted and the ball never touched the ground. That was a pretty inspiring moment. Shout out to Mr. Williams last year. Mr. Williams last year, when the game was on the line, 24-20, he broke it and took it home for the touchdown, ended up being the game-sealing touchdown. I just thought you kept going, you kept running the football, you kept doing all those different things, and you broke the big one at the end to kind of break the back of the 49ers. I was, that was another big moment for me because that solidified the Super Bowl for the young and up and comer, So
sure. I mean, look, the Super Bowl is obviously filled with a lot of great memories. So here's the rundown. Thank you to everybody in the comments. Real quick, rapid fire on the comment section. Kenneth is asking, is it? He knows it's too early, but what about J.J. Watt to the Chiefs? Real
Yeah, I mean,
possibility. I think J.J. Watt will get traded. I know that the
yeah.
Deshaun Watson thing is up in the air.
He's not under contract next year, I don't believe.
Oh well, then he's going to sign elsewhere. If that's the case. No, are you
No,
sure?
he
No, he's
wants
under
to be. He
contract.
wants. Yeah, he wants to be cut. He doesn't want to be traded. He wants to be cut so he can make his own decision.
Right. Thank you, Jeremy.
But I just can. I know it's one of those big names that you hear about, but he's not the elite edge rusher you're looking for. He'll help in the run game. He'll help in some of the pass rush situations. But in terms of what the Chiefs need, I don't think he's that guy for the elite edge rushers that you look for. I wouldn't trade too much for him. If I could sign him, maybe you could sign him and put him next to Chris Jones. But as an elite edge rusher, you can probably find somebody else.
I think J.J. Watt's value to your locker room is still tremendous. I don't think his draft assets value. I think that is at a low. No, like I wouldn't give up more than a 4th round pick for J.J. Watt, and that's just being honest.
Right.
But if I'm KC, if I'm Tampa, if I'm Green Bay, if I'm a number of teams, the Rams even, if I'm a number of teams, really, if I can get J.J. Watt for a 2-year, $8 million contract, I'm taking him. 100% taking him.
Yeah.
Even if it's 10 million, even if it's 12 million.
Yeah, 10 to 12, yeah. I mean, like you said, the value in the locker room. He's still a quality defender, but as a consistent pass rusher, that's good. Like, don't expect that from him. I mean, he's always been an edge rusher that comes in from the interior line anyway. So he was dominant in that role, but that's not the same guy anymore right now.
Agreed. Absolutely agreed. What else is in the comment section? Tanya is in there. Tanya saying second is Joe Montana. Oh, she's saying Joe Montana to John Taylor. Obviously, that's a very memorable moment. I believe that was the Bengals game, if I remember correctly. Was right? Yeah, it was the Bengals game. The one where it was close, not the one where, because the Bengals got blown out in one of those Super Bowls. Tanya also says James Harrison to San Antonio Holmes. That's her favorite part. Jaquan, you family around here, brother, but you got to stop feeding into some of these narratives. This is just me arguing on this point. People will say it, whatever. I don't care. I will argue till the day I die, and then the ever after. I will still argue this. That was not a quote unquote dumb decision by the Seattle Seahawks to pass the ball in that situation. The situation is
they doing it all the time. I mean, y'all favorite quarterbacks is doing it, and they slow asses can't hit them throws.
Ken is saying the Texans need help. The Chiefs need help, sir. Sir, they are in their second straight Super Bowl. They have just hosted 3 AFC championships, and they have the best quarterback in the world right now.
He's Life Jennings right now. That man is greedy.
Sir,
get your own pass rushers.
Kenneth, you know what? No, but like, we love you, Ken, because now you're gonna tune into the draft shows. You're gonna tune into the free agent shows, and we can help you out with some pieces to throw in on that football team for you, bro. Right now, let's do some Super Bowl.
So I love this Antonio Holmes one is being mentioned a lot in the comment section. I got a quick story on that one before we wrap up. Perhaps I'm showing my age a little bit here for those who don't know my age. Whatever, it doesn't matter. That Super Bowl was my senior year of high school. Okay, I think it was 4th period teacher also happened to be the football coach. Now there was a chalkboard in that classroom. That chalkboard was never used all year, but the day after the Super Bowl, because this man got on a chalkboard for about 30, period only lasts 40 minutes. This man got on the chalkboard for 35 minutes and drew up the last 2 plays and went play for play, assignment for assignment on what they did. And that was the only time we used the chalkboard in that educational classroom. And that was probably the only time I paid attention in that educational classroom. But Whatever. That was a few years ago now. We could reveal it. I graduated with a diploma. Okay. Fellas, rapid fire, closing thoughts. Vic,
Just tune in tomorrow. We got another one. Another one. Film studies, baby.
Tanya says she knew my age. Okay. Seattle scored on the exact same play to end the first half. There you go.
Deshaun Watson to the Raiders. That means we'll have Pat Mahomes and Deshaun Watson twice a year.
I'm here for it.
Let me.
I'm here for it. Hey, we might get Brady versus Mahomes in the Super Bowl annually now. This might turn into you never know.
After this one,
you remember how
next year
and Austin headlined WrestleMania like 3 years in 3 out of 4 years. That's about to be Brady and Mahomes. Germ, closing thoughts.
Just show up tomorrow, y'all.
Nada, papi, porque. Okay, so thank you for everybody in the comments. We will be promoting these rest of these shows. Just want y'all to know right here who is on the show. Thursday, tomorrow, 7:30 Eastern, we will be live. Lab show. What does that say?
Damn, say he got 20 trivia questions. Let's do it.
Woo! So there you go. Lab show Thursday on everything Super Bowl. Devin White, Antoine Whitfield, Tyrann Mathieu, obviously the quarterbacks, obviously tight ends, obviously the receivers, but definitely the beef, because without the beef, neither of these teams, whatever, will not be hosting that trophy. Why? No beef, no Lombardi. Doesn't epitomize more than this game coming up Sunday. Speaking of the weekend, Saturday is the show. If you want to be a part of it, let me know. Saturday might be a marathon show. We are going to go live at approximately 6 Eastern. Fellas, we agree on that, or maybe a little, is that good?
Saturday?
Yeah.
Oh, man, we're going to have to work it out, right?
Saturday, 6 Eastern, we will go live. Plan for that to be a marathon show. Jump in, jump out. You could join the show.
Yourself about. Oh, sorry.
It is going to be, we don't know how long we're going to be. We got a few things planned and we got a few things unplanned. Some of the things planned, we got trivia. We got a Where's Waldo game. So you saw J-Ham got 20 questions for you. I got a Where's Waldo game that I think I only told Big Shot about. I don't know if he relayed the message to the rest of the crew or not, but we do have a Where's Waldo game regarding these NFL players. I will let you figure out how we are going to run that game. But tune in, because there will be a competition. There will be arguments. There will be prizes. And best of all, there will be guests like you in the comments. And we might have a little battle session of who's the better player and this and that. We might have fans go at it. We don't know what's going to happen. We just know Saturday night, live on the scene, is different than anything you've ever experienced. And make sure you are there. Make sure you tell your friends and your families, but not your kids. Just being real. Sunday, first of all, Stoppage Time told y'all there's a soccer game that Sunday. Sunday afternoon, early Sunday afternoon, we will be live. We will be on time, and we will be ready to rock and to roll, because it will be the day of the big game. We got the best pregame show in all the land prepared. Mo Schefter, Vic Jr., the illustrious Germ So True, Bruce 2022, live on the scene. Thank you for joining us. Catch y'all later. Take us home, True.